Okay, here's part two of the commentary on Golden Slippers. Going to the B part, I realized that I forgot to make an important point about playing the chords. So, first of all, the B part is really following a couple of chord arpeggios for the most part. So those chords are G, going down, starting from one note below the D. And I forgot to mention that, and you probably already know this, that this G is duplicated here. So we can have, and then moving up to the A minor, just moving up one step all the way. And again, this guy is duplicated here, so we have. Okay, so those are kind of the two chords, and so the left hand only on the B part with the beats to. Okay, so that first part is just this kind of G major arpeggio, and then a rundown, and then it goes to the A minor arpeggio, and then it switches to like another response. Oops, sorry. I don't know this very well, obviously. That's kind of the closing. So that's completely playable by left hand, which again frees your right hand up for chords. And so, you know, one thing that you could try is the following the right hand from the chords, just one step below in the chord pattern. So here's the G major. And so if you're starting here, this would be the note, the chord note below. So, and then switching just to a drone note here. Whoops, that doesn't work. Again. Okay, I'm screwing up a lot there. So at this point, I want to add that you know, this method of using the left hand for the upbeat and downbeat notes in the melody really frees up your right hand, and you have lots of choices of things that you can do. And the reason that that's good is because when you play these tunes a couple of times, you don't want them to be boring and repetitive. You want to sort of like try to make changes so every pass through maybe there's something different to keep it lively. So that was sort of like a chord. But you could also like alternate. So, and what I encourage you to do is experiment to see what you think sounds nice. So I'm not going to spend a lot more time on you know, kind of chording the B part. I just want to kind of give you ideas. And you should definitely explore them and try things. And you'll know if you like it or not. I mean, that's sort of, I think, a good way to make it kind of musical. Another important point is making these tunes musical means putting in kind of rhythmic nuances. Sometimes it's in the timing, subtle kind of swing rhythm in the timing, or syncopation. But maybe even more importantly is to recognize that ultimately the stuff that we're playing is dance music. mean, we may not be playing for dancers, but it's really dance music. And so there's there's a lot going on with the beat making it musical. So these are 4/4. This tune, and some of the other tunes are 4/4. The downbeat is where the dancers are putting their feet down, and the upbeats. So the downbeats are the first and the third per measure. The upbeats, the second and fourth, are when the dancers' bodies are going up, and so I tend to like accent more on the upbeats, but you can also accent more on the downbeats. You have choices, and you can even accent on particular notes too. And so you've got a lot of complete freedom. So if we go back to the first part, sorry. So we're going to just start the A part. So the downbeat here in the first measure, these are pickups. This is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'll tend to hit on the 2 and the 4. That's exaggerated. You want to do it that pronounced, but and so then you can reinforce that with a chord. An example of accenting on the downbeat would be I have a hard time not going to the upbeat. And that can also work. I tend not to, because if I'm playing with other players, generally the rhythm players like the guitar and the piano will be hitting the downbeats. So there'll be a good downbeat emphasis. And when the melody hits an upbeat, that sort of gives us like psychological anti-gravity lift to the dancers, and it makes it sound really musical. Okay, so those are the main points. Accents, get the accents on the rhythm where you want them to make it sound melodic. Don't play it mechanically. And free up the right hand. Yeah, and then also explore. And then a few other tricks. So I'm not going to put them into tunes here, but like I was saying with chords, that's a simultaneous chord, but you can also hit the right hand a little bit first to give it to make it like a grace note. So that's a very, 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 very common trick. It's not very fancy. And you probably saw me doing these bounces. So you can like do a bounce on the accent notes, for example. Or you can do it on the downbeats. So if you want that note to kind of come through a little bit more than the others, you can play it louder, hit it with a chord, or even do these bounces because there's a bunch of hits, and so that makes it kind of louder. Okay, so that's all I can think of for now. Bye-bye.